Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am Yahweh Sop. I camp out with Lion Den, One Ben Joshua Water in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I would like to give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Archons, and to the women and children. Ka Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem Ha Rokak Wadash Mahama. In the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder Hawam. Salutation to the Archons who are on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children. Shalom. Okay, well, 2025 is around the corner, right? And for years now, all the way from 1960, right, with Abba Bivens, GMS, and from GMS worldwide, camps have been praying, singing the new song, and pleading to our people, right, to repent. Now, we are closer than ever before for the second shutdown, and all hell is going to break loose. It says here, prepare for the Agenda 2025. Their plan will shock the world. Whitney Webb, expose it all. Well, we've been exposing it for years, right? The elders of GMS been exposing it for many, many years. Okay, but that's good also, you know, that she's a journalist. She's doing her part. So it's also good, the more the merrier, right? But it's going to get real ugly. And as you notice, around the world, the governments all singing the same song, right? Just they're using different words to bring in the cashless society, right? So I'm going to play a little bit of it. The title of this lesson is called, It is High Time. Here we go.
Effort to impose a very dangerous agenda on the United States. Many figures have been set up to try and gain your trust to manufacture consent for those policies. And it's not just happening in politics, it's happening in media as well, because they know that mainstream media has lost everyone's trust. And so they're creating what some people now are calling this mainstream alternative media that is being used to promote and market these same policies. And so, for example, you had Brett Weinstein go on Tucker Carlson and say, we need a smart wall. You've had Colonel Douglas Macgregor, who I believe had an advisory role in the last Trump administration, saying we need a smart wall. You have Trump's lawyer and senior advisor to his super PAC saying we need biometric ID for voting.
For years, the left has promoted the biometric smart wall as a better alternative to a physical one. According to those advocating for this anomaly, a physical wall is a third-century solution to secure our nation's southern border.
Listen, what if you can start your own lending business, helping other businesses get access to capital?
To secure our nation's southern border. They further argue that this so-called 21st century solution will be fitted with state-of-the-art facial recognition software and sensor technology that can quickly and easily determine between a jackrabbit or a human moving across the desert. It's another election season, and the smart wall issue is quickly cropping up again. But this time, it's not just people on the left who are asking us to leave the security of our country in the hands of controversial private organizations using questionable and centrally controlled surveillance and digital ID systems. In a recent discussion with Kim Iverson, popular investigative journalist Whitney Webb discusses the many dangers associated with these left and right-leaning initiatives that are always sold to Americans using different misleading languages, a tactic designed to fool and bamboozle the populace. According to Whitney, the biometric smart wall is part of a larger agenda aimed at rolling out surveillance and digital identity systems, not just in the US, but across the Western world. Whitney warns that this so-called 21st century solution has been sneakily embraced by both the Democrats and Republicans to fulfill the broader global agenda of the global elites. The system's goal is not just to control borders, but also to restrict people's movements and access, linking it with broader digital identification systems that could eventually be used to monitor and regulate various aspects of daily life, like carbon footprint or even social media behavior. It starts from the wall and slowly spreads until it covers practically every aspect of our lives, one nation under constant surveillance and complete control. Since they know Americans will not accept these diabolical systems without a fight, they will ensure that the messenger has wide acceptance across the country. It becomes very easy when you realize that all politicians are preaching the same globalist message, just in different languages. As we bring you clips from the interview, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for the support, and enjoy the video.
And that's how they're going to sell it to the right. And they're also going to sell it sort of as a private sector initiative as opposed to a public sector initiative. But remember, all of this stuff, the digital ID agenda included, is a public-private partnership. ID 2020 and those groups, that's how they function. It's a public-private partnership. And so the public sector leaning rhetoric appeals to the left, private sector leaning rhetoric appeals to the right. And the other ways they're going to try and pitch this to the right, and they're already doing it, is not just through increased border security, but as an answer to the voter ID issue. Vote with your face. And this is already being promoted by people like Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, and people like that on the podcast circuit. Saying, why don't we have Clear being like the company at airports alongside TSA where you can scan your eyeball, not unlike WorldCoin, and get through security faster. She was like, why not do that for voting? This is the beginning of them trying to manufacture consent to Trump's base, or rather right-leaning populists, for the same exact digital ID system that they were opposed to during COVID.
Clever.
It's very clever. And this is why I would encourage people to look at the current border situation as something that is being intentionally manufactured also by the Biden administration, because this is something where the Biden camp and the Trump camp agree. And precisely this intentional policy on the part of Biden's DHS is creating the situation whereby the solution that both parties want can be imposed, but the opposition, in this case, Trump, can write in and offer this solution, and his base will be clamoring for it. Even though it's the exact same type of framework that was proposed during COVID. And of course, as you pointed out, the mandates were to force people to onboard onto this. So if you can't vote without digital ID, you can't get a job without digital ID. You have to prove you're an American citizen, right? Not a migrant. But the only way to do that now is with smart ID, just like the kind that Ron DeSantis, who was, opposed to all this COVID era stuff, he's already having that roll out in Florida, called exactly Florida Smart ID, and it's being produced by a World Economic Forum strategic partner based in France, Thales. So, regardless of their rhetoric, we need to pay attention to their actions, and both parties are leading us to this technocratic system. You just have some where it's being framed as a UN public sector effort, and then the ones where it's being framed by private sector Silicon Valley oligarchs like Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, who are building the same exact kind of systems for the quote unquote deep state that Trump supporters are supposed to revile. And it's precisely a Peter Thiel funded company that's building the smart wall right now. And there's a lot to be said about that, because the amount of connections to the CIA in that regard are truly staggering. And so if Trump supporters knew that they're being tricked into supporting a CIA front company border wall as a way to stop migration, that's not just about keeping migrants out. That's also about, intimately tied up with the war on domestic terror agenda, which I think a lot of these people should know by now is directed mainly at them. And a lot of the groundwork for that war on domestic terror that's aimed largely at constitutional conservatives, but really also people that would be most likely to protest against government overreach. It says in the documentation that it's just about not just about targeting people on the right, but people on the left as well, if they get in the way of government policy. This system being built by Peter Thiel through Palantir and some of these other companies that are, military and intelligence contractors. The groundwork was set under Trump. It's been expanded under Biden. This is a two-party agenda to curb domestic dissent, and they have been building it for a very long time, obviously supercharged after 9/11. But they're essentially being, sheepdogged into a situation where they're cheering on their own prosecution.
The digital ID system was actively championed during the pandemic with the vaccine passports and met with swift resistance from certain groups. These groups argued that digital IDs could be used to limit freedom of movement. So, now Whitney believes the goal is to get these groups on board these ideas by selling them as bipartisan ideas. But this is being done so subtly and quietly that not many people realize what's happening. As a result, many people who previously opposed digital tracking during the pandemic are now in support of biometric surveillance at the border, not realizing...
Okay, let's stop it there. I think you're catching the point that they want to bring this system worldwide. Okay, and you got to remember, you so-called Negros Latinos, Americans, and speckled birds, that the reason that they're doing this, besides that it's Yahweh the Father and Yahweh Shai the Son, who gave them the technology, right, to Edomites to increase their technology and their power of weapons for when the War III, right, of Yahushua return, that they can fight and believe that the Edomites believe they're gonna win, right? On top of that, they're standing on stolen land. And since they are aware, because they keep track what all of us are talking about on the internet, that they don't want to leave what they've been stealing for so many years, not only here in so-called America, but around the world. Okay? So 2025, they're already announcing it. They're going to bring in the digital system and the ID, facial and technology, right? And if you don't take it, you heard it, you cannot buy or sell. I want to go to Romans chapter 13, verse 10. Love works no evil, but the Edomites are causing illness, illness to all of us, right? Love works no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. Well, they don't care about scripture. They want to be gods. They want to make rules unto themselves, right? But you got to remember what happened in the, what was that place called in the Bible? The Tower of Babel, right? When they built it all the way to the top, it was destroyed. Well, history is going to repeat itself where they are building this technology and they are ready to turn it loose worldwide. And Yahweh is going to come back with the host of angels and destroy it, right? They're already talking about, like in China, they're already using those glasses that the police wears, and all they have to do is look at you, and right there they get all the information by facial reading, who you are, your record, your belief system, your religion, everything, your health, everything. Okay? So, I want to go to Matthew chapter 7. Give me a minute here. Yep. We are closer than ever before for the beast system. Forget that Jesus, okay? That was only to distract, to entertain, right? Now it's becoming more clear that it's the beast bank system. Okay, GMS has made it clear. The word is out. I want to go to Matthew chapter 7 and start with verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye will that man should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Right? So does that mean that we should all get up and put military clothes and get militant and people to, act like our people act like a militant army? No, that's not talking about that. Okay? That's talking about read the laws, make it clear to them that what they're going to do to us is going to be done unto them when Yahweh Bashin Yahushua comes back. We don't got no power, right? We're not the ones that are deliving people's lives, taking people's lives away. We're not the ones saying we want to control you with technology. We're not the ones saying we're going to steal, rape, rob your land, and do wicked, evil things. No, when Yahushua comes back, he's going to be doing righteous things. Okay, verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye will that man should do. Well, Salaka. Verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in there at. Yeah, a lot of our people, so-called Negros, Latinos, Mexicans, and speckled birds, 2/3 at least, are going to go into it, okay? Because, you know, when they kick this in, rest assured, they're going to bring in the universal income, okay? Because there's not going to be too many jobs to begin with. I mean, they're going to have technology, AI, right? The intelligent, advanced AI, so smart, it cannot cure no diseases at all to begin with, right? Because it's so smart. But it's going to take over so many jobs. And since all of us have been dependent on the system, right? That how you going to eat? Right? How you going to live? You see? A lot of people are not going to accept this. A lot of people are going to start, you know, just walking out of the city, going into the woods. Yes, the Edomites they know this. They got technology ready. But, you know, a lot of people are going to say, so be it. But we're not going to bow down to your toys. Okay? Verse, give me wait. 14. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it. Yep, that is true. Everybody, or the majority of people, are just going to go into Egypt and say, hey, I'll do whatever you say. Right? Verse 14, I already read 14. Let me go to Luke 13. Slakia. Luke 13. Where are you, Luke? Looking for Luke and don't find him. Oh, there you go. Luke chapter 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the straight gate. So I can saw that. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. Yeah. Because you had all this time, you so-called Negros, Latinos, Mexicans, and speckled birds, right? And all you want to do is just chase the bag. All you want to do is be in the entertainment of the things of this wicked world, right? And you did not believe or take it seriously that this digital currency system is at hand, right? You kept saying, so what, you know? As long as I'm working and paying my bills. Well, you forgot that they're gonna also mandate, well, all of us have to take the charagma. See, they gotta make sure that everybody takes it, because while the Edomites go hide in the bunkers, they want our people to go and fight Yahweh Shah when he comes back with the host of angels. Okay? So they're going to try everything they can to make sure that they're not the ones who do the fighting. Right? They're going to try to hide their children as well. I want to go to Matthew chapter 22. Give me a minute. Chapter 22, verse 37. Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, with all thy mind, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Okay? So it's making it clear that the one who created us, which was Yahweh, who gave the knowledge and power and authority to Yahushua, he created all things. That's who we got to obey. Not the Edomites that can create artificial things and then say, just because they say, I am God, and if you don't do what I say, I'll take your life away. Well, if that's all you can do, go for it, Edomite. But he already knows that payback is a bitch. Okay? Verse 38. This is the first and great commandment. 39. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And who is our neighbors? Well, those who are called to do the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because 2/3 of our people, no matter how much you tell them, hey, you are a Hebrew Israelite, repent, they just look at you and say, man, you're talking crazy, bro. We're living the best of the best. Okay, we'll keep that attitude. And we'll see if it's true that you're going to be living the best of the best. Verse 40, on these 2 commandments hangs all the law and the prophets. Okay? I want to go back to Romans chapter 13 and verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. And boy, is that so true. Now more than ever. Verse 12. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darknesses, and let us put on the armor of light, of truth. Okay? Because we're going to need Yahweh Shai. We're going to need the host of angels. We're going to need Michael. Right? Because it's going to get real ugly. And when I say ugly, that's not even expressing how bad and ugly it's going to get. Okay? And we are getting closer to 2025, so everyone's going to see how ugly it's going to be. How bad, I want to go to 12. No, I already read 12. Let me go to Ephesians. That's what I wanted to do. Ephesians chapter... Oops, here we go. Chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Boy, it is not lying. Okay? Because the Edomites are going to unleash every technology, okay, that they have. And there's going to be so much civil unrest, okay? So much people losing their lives because the Edomites are so hungry for power, They want to be gods. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Yeah, they're all over the, all over the place in corporations, these Edomites, all over the world, right? So now that they have the technology, they are going to turn it loose. Okay? It says here, give me a minute. 13, wherefore take unto you the whole arm of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil days, and having done all to stand. Yep. Because we're going to need Yahweh Shai to have that strength, that courage, and also that guidance. Okay? Because only Yahweh Shai will determine what the Father tells him to determine, who will escape and who will not. Verse 14, stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Yeah, because once you know the truth, you're not going to bow down to these wicked Edomites who are going to be slaves in the new kingdom to come for 1,000 years. That's a come they're going to give it all they got right now, you know? So, let me go to Romans chapter 13, verse 13. Let us walk honestly as in the days, not in rotting and drunkenness, not in charming, and wantonness, I believe, not in strife and envy. Yeah, don't envy the things of this world. I mean, they're advertising so many things right now, right? That you can make so much money, you can be your own boss. I mean, we all still got to work. Don't get me wrong. You know, if you've been blessed to get an idea to do something at this time and at this moment, yeah, that's not a sin, okay? But when they demand that we all have to take that next step, or else you can't buy, you can't work, you can't eat, that's when you gotta just say, well, no can do, okay? No can do. Sorry, Edomite. First Corinthians, where are you? I'm looking for First Corinthians. Oh, I can't believe I passed it. There we go. Let's go to chapter 6, verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor those funny kind of guys, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Okay? No effeminate. So, the Edomites who gone through the whole world raping, robbing, and murdering, they think they can keep on doing what they're doing, right? They believe that because of the technology that they have now, that they can change body parts, right? And live for eternity. See how psycho they are, right? And then, of course, if you don't have that, digital ID, You can't go into the internet either. That will be famine of the word, okay? So they're announcing they're getting closer. I'm going to leave it with Romans chapter 13, verse 14. But put ye on Yahweh and make no provision for the flesh, woo, to fulfill the lust thereof. Yeah, don't get trapped. You know, of course we're going to go through some pain. Of course we're going to go through some suffering, right? I think the elders of GMS, I forgot which one of the elders said it, but right now you want to start practicing to live a little bit uncomfortable, right? You want to start training like that because when this second shutdown hits, it's going to be the big one and it's going to hit hard, okay? And we can't fold just because we see loved ones or people that we know in pain. I mean, no one wants to see that. But it is part of life, okay? We cannot be led by our emotions and our feelings. Whoever Yahweh Bashin Yahushua decides that must die, then hey, so be it. We gotta die, right? But be damned to be taking any beast system, any mark system, and bowing down to these wicked Edomites who are going into slavery for 1,000 years anyway, right? Keep that in mind. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I say, Shalom.